Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the final match of the evening. It is Acer's. No, it's not. Brown is not on
Uh,
Acer. I tricked you. It is No Team's Brown up against Prime's MarineKing. And it's going to be on Grand Lagoon, which we talked about is a difficult map for Protoss against Zerg. I also think that it's a fairly difficult map for
yeah.
Protoss against Terran, as the third base is in an extremely inconvenient location, drops Marine Marauder aggression function very nicely, and if there's one person who's known for Marine Marauder medevac, I would put MKP in that group.
Yeah, I would agree so as well. You're right. The third base dynamic, it's like if you're a Protoss and you're on two base and you're getting blink, chances are you're not really going to get hit by drop aggression and it's not going to hurt you. But if you're across three bases on a map like this, where traversing between your main and your third is so far, then oh god, it's so hard to actually cover all of those angles. Really difficult.
Well, let's go ahead and hop right on into this Grand Lagoon game where we're going to get the chance to see a little bit about those formations you were talking about. Blink, I think, is more than reasonable of a choice to go for, but even then it's difficult to blink between main and third, as there's really only a few angles to do it at. But probably still would go for the kind of solid Immortal Sentry, Blink, and then go for Colossus. I don't really want to be rushing for Colossus too quickly, as you just need swiftness of units instead of power of units in my eyes on this map.
Yeah, it's important. It really is. So, and it's funny because also I think that Protoss has a hard time with swiftness of units just in general. It's hard to get that really super mobile composition down and out before the Terran is wanting to start really applying a lot of pressure. So we'll see how MKP wants to play this out.
Yeah, I think that is going to be the really interesting question, because Ultra Standard Expand Barracks play is fantastic on this map. I mean, exactly what Teja did on Cloud Kingdom. I absolutely think MKP should do that. The very fast Barracks 4 and 5, shoving hard, etc.
Yeah.
So, I want to ask you a little bit about what you think Brown needs to do to stay strong in this last game, because we saw him thwart a pretty easy to thwart play with his opening on Ohana. We saw just a really unfortunate timing in Game 2, but tell us a little bit about Game 3 Brown, if he wants to win, what he needs.
I think what Brown tries to do here is, I mean, what he probably will do is he'll just go to Colossus and play it standard, but what I would love to see him do is base his transition into the mid game off pure Sentry Immortal and tech up to Twilight Council, then Templar Archives, and use High Templars in the back whilst he's teching up to Storm for feedbacks to try and deny medevac drops whilst holding at the front with something like Sentry Immortal. I think that could be really the method to eventually get your third base up against someone who's aggressive like MKP, and then just try and transition on from there with a very, very strong AoE base with that Storm.
Yeah, I really genuinely think that Immortal Sentry and then something Twilighty is going to be key on this map. I mean, just looking at where the Colossus can run up and down, it's very difficult because there's actually no good way for your Colossus to get from the third to the main to the second.
Yeah. Now that I look at it.
And that all those paths along there are just very ugly to maneuver along.
So we'll be on the way in just a sec, guys. But a big thank you for actually joining us for the entire night. We've had around 12,000 viewers for the entire time. Big thanks. I'll be giving out 4 beta keys at the very end of the night to people that have followed the instructions on my Twitter. So if you want to enter into that, you still have a little bit of time to join on. Again, 4 beta keys up for grabs, not 2 like instructed in the tweet, as we did reach 10,000 viewers. So, and hotskis are always so much fun, especially with the new patches coming out, and apparently another one today.
So yeah, it looks like the Oracle will be marginally less powerful, but still powerful all the less. So I will be having myself the fun, assuming that the beta servers pop up tonight. We are now officially in the last game of the last series of Group C in the bottom left. It is MarineKing Prime, who is showing us a mix of incredible flair and incredible flub.
Yeah.
Hoping he brings the flair to this final game.
The flair is certainly appreciated here from MarineKing Prime, but for now, oh yes, we do have him spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner, as our yellow Terran.
Be really thrilled to see some pretty slick Twilight Council-based play out of Brown.
Oh no, my headphones are stuck on my chair. One sec, sorry. And yes, indeed, spawning up to the top right-hand corner, we have Mr. Brown. So I'm wondering, I would love to see the Twilight Council play. Just the ways in general that he can use that. It's nice to have the feedbacks. It's nice to have blink. It's nice to have charge as well. Charge is so good against Terran. And in fact, some Terrans just have the hardest time against huge amounts of Zealots.
Yeah, I mean, just looking around, the real difficulty you can see if you head to Brown's base, just look at this little neck that you have to traverse along to go to the third base. Imagine defending a third base from direct attacks while still trying to consider pressure at the natural, while still trying to defend against any sort of drop that pops into the main base. The control of these watchtowers is very easy and consistent for Terran players.
Yeah, it is. I'm curious as to how we're going to see Brown. Well, I mean, actually, no, I'm not anymore, as he already spots out that natural. So he's going to feel comfortable to claim his own natural pretty quickly here, and even start tasering away at an SCV, which is pretty irritating here for MKP.
I like MarineKing Prime going for the big macro play in this last game. Again, exactly what Teja was doing. But MarineKing Prime always kind of scares me because he just does these really risky things after he does risky things. You know, like I wouldn't have been surprised to see him throw down a third command center right now. So I'm very delighted to see a second barracks go down.
Yeah, no, you're right with that. It's you said it before well when you said that MKP is either going a lot of racks early on and putting on a lot of pressure, or he's going four command centers and just saying, to hell with defense. I'm hoping that my opponent doesn't attack me, which is very MarineKing-esque. But no, he's compensating at the moment. He's going for that middle ground, a little bit of macro, a little bit of extra units here to keep him sturdy. And from there, well, Brown, he took all of his guys off gas and actually went for that expansion very quickly as well. So Brown's also the kind of guy who's saying, you know, nice defensive position or just a lot of macro. Let's go. So nice swings.
Oh my gosh, this is a standard game, Kalaris.
It is. I'm amazed.
What's going on? MKP holding his front and getting the double gas. All right, there we go. There's some classic greed coming right on in. He's going for double gas, and he'll likely go third barracks and tech lab and engineering bay before bunker. And that's a great way to lose or win if your opponent doesn't attack you.
No, you're right. There is that hit and miss element to it. MarineKing, for now, he spots everything that's going on in his opponent's main and has spotted the natural, so he's going to be pretty happy with what he sees, I think. Sees a lack of gateways going down too rapidly, but there are, in fact, those two gateways on the way in the very back of Brown's base now, which, I think he's going to go for 4-gate aggression again, actually. Oh, he is.
There's the engineering bay. There's the tech labs.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Build a bunker. Oh, MarineKing, could you don't have to be that greedy. You don't.
He needs an SCV down there right now. You're right.
Oh, God. Oh, and there's the third gas geyser. He's actually going to try to cut corners and go for a very fast factory as well. My heart stings.
Where is the SCV for? Oh, okay, it's coming off the line now. He's going to throw down the supply depot. Yeah, haha. No.
Fortunately, it looks like Brown is actually late on the 4-gate. He's actually going to be going for 6-gate.
Oh.
And
Isn't
I think
that worse?
I mean, that delay might actually keep MarineKing Prime in this game.
Where's the pylon? He needs that pylon now. He needs to warp in and start going. There's the bunker on the way, and MarineKing actually is probably going to wall off before the entirety of this hits. And actually, you know where he's positioning his factory? In a really cool place to eventually start walling off those rocks if he wants to break that down, if he sees that the 6-gate won't crush up the ramp. Huh.
Oh my gosh, this game's about to just become ridiculous. I mean, the fact that Brown is going for a 6-gate after he had the window to go for a 4-gate and win, but didn't build his pylon or scout in time.
That being said, there's a lot of sentries in this, so he could actually throw down really good force fields, negating the bunker pretty well. But still, the bio is becoming extremely numerous, and as such, but look at how many units Brown has. What the hell? This is going to
He's warping in a considerable amount. This is going to be a tough defense. However, it looks like how long till Stim is done? It looks like another 15 seconds.
Oh.
He is going to strike right when Stim and +1 attack finish up. This is the anti-timing for Brown. But here he goes up. Stim is literally done right now. This is perfect for MarineKing Prime, who really needs to throw down that Stim. And there it is. Force fields block the Zealots. Oh my gosh, MarineKing catching the luckiest break possible.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this game has unfolded so strangely. Because, again, we have to reiterate, if it had gone with just a normal 4-gate aggression that was just, quick warp gate, he would have crushed. He would have... There was no bunker. There was a smidge of a wall, but really not much at all. And now Brown, trying to hold on for a little bit, going for an even bigger aggressive push, is now kind of being relegated to getting some delayed tech in the form of the Twilight Council, Robo, Forge, and his opponent already has flying upgrades.
Well, here comes MKP, and as we can already just see at the front base of Brown, where does he position himself to be able to defend against all the possible fronts of aggression? Look at where the sentries are, and then look at this pylon at the back of Brown's base. This is what makes it so tough to deal with standard Marine Marauder medevac aggression on Grand Lagoon. Is that little facet right there? You need like 3 observers at that backside.
Yeah, there's so much area to cover, and right now, MarineKing, he's got his medevacs out, so he could start exploiting this if he wants to. There's no point pushing up the front. There's no way you can really break that. There's too many sentries, too many stalkers, too many zealots. So, MKP, how are you? Ooh! That's a nice snipe there off of that.
That was an impressive snipe.
Yeah.
Now, bear in mind, Brown does have the opportunity to do defensive warp-ins, as he has 6 warp gates and is not really using them as he's teching up. MarineKing is going for a 2nd engineering bay and a 2nd armory, and that is an incredibly outdated style. There's no extra barracks. MarineKing really needs to get those extra barracks. Otherwise, he will lose the entire game if he loses even a couple of those Marines.
Yeah, it's kind of scary here for MarineKing if his opponent wants to get like super aggressive, but chances are he's well, actually look at how Brown is so scared right now. He's even thrown down 2 cannons at the front of his natural here, trying to bolster that defensive location. And look, he's even keeping a probe. I'm assuming he's just going to throw out a pylon down on the extremity of his natural, but he's keeping a probe at the very bottom just so he can try and spot. Because this is what Grand Lagoon does to you. It stretches you so thin to the point where you have to have probes even scouting out these things.
Now we have MarineKing loading up. Oh, Doom Drop mode. Or is he going to run right into the Stalkers? No, don't do it, MarineKing! What is he doing? He's already lost 2 of those medevacs. He's engaging in a position that might pan out moderately decent, but with enough warp-ins and enough force fields, this is going to turn out pretty bad for MarineKing Prime, I would think. And now we see more units trying to get warped in. MarineKing trying to send units up the front where there's 2 cannons there to greet him. And, I mean, MarineKing appears to be throwing down mules preemptively. A Colossus getting thrown down right now. And MarineKing would have definitely been benefited by just leaving those at home.
Yeah, just a bit. I mean, there's still a lot of warpins that Brown can utilize here. He is actually going for some counter-aggression with Zealots down in his opponent's natural. But MarineKing has a 3rd base up and running. And I think MarineKing is going to try and snipe out one of these Colossi again. But is he going to be able to get it?
The Colossus is going down crazy paths, but it looks like it will not get out. When it looks like it manages to fall, MarineKing is taking some unnecessary risks after unnecessary risks. I suppose I would call this winning with flair if he does win, but,
Heart palpitations is what I call this. Jeez. The one big thing and the one nice thing for MarineKing is that he saved all of his medevacs, and he only... he saved all of his medevacs, and he only lost Marines and Marauders. So that's a really good position for him to be in terms of gas. And right now, he's still looking really good, but I'm sure there's something you want to mention.
Yeah, I mean, like, in that attack, like going for that drop, I mean, you can just say to yourself, my opponent is stuck on low base count. I can easily just throw down a Ghost Academy right now. Given the long distances, if I was mistaken, and in fact he's going Colossus, I can still begin making the Vikings, because he went for 6-gate pressure, his Robo's delayed, he doesn't have a bunch of Colossus hiding, and he can only make Colossus one at a time. It's one of the easiest ways to exploit a player who did a big gateway attack and it didn't work out. And now here, MarineKing waltzes right up to the high ground, and then what happens? Almost loses half his medevacs. He does lose 2, one that was nearly full, and now we're seeing Brown try to get into position, might be able to even pick off some of these medevacs, but these DTs I actually think are going to do some considerable damage.
Yeah, they could potentially. Brown here is still fighting back. He's at 53 probes to the 74 SCVs right now. Income's not looking... Oh, well, actually, I was going to say it does not look too bad for him, but MKP's doubling his... 3,200 minerals per minute. That's insane. Oh, my God.
Well, here come the DTs. One is already doing some short work of workers in that natural expansion, and the other one's heading up to the third. MKP instantly pulls back and, amazingly, is quite low on energy.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit scary for him. He's going to pull back, which is a good choice. 3-3 is on the way, and actually, you know, I still really like the idea of getting a Templar Archives, just so you can start feedbacking medevacs if they want to drop. And that would have been pretty useful. But, you know, for now, we're just sitting back here. MarineKing Prime has that 40 supply benefit, and he's even getting more command centers down, whilst we still don't have that third for Brown down just yet. He's getting it just now.
He's building it, but I mean, as we see these pylons that are down at the far right side, sure, they can spot against this huge wide expanse that you must defend, but they can also easily be picked off from the low ground, so you kind of just need all your units involved and right there in the fray.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Templar Archives on the way now, yeah, for Brown, as I think I mean, you would mix this in anyway against the Terran. It's pretty normal, but it's so important, I think, on this map. And right now, Brown's still going for the aggression with a few Zealots down to the third of his opponent. Gets 1 or 2 SCVs for his troubles, which is nice, and forces MarineKing to pull back. But he's 194 supply to 132. This bio army is becoming so ridiculously strong. If he waits for 3-3, then I mean, he doesn't even need to wait for 3-3. But if he does, this army is just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, MKP has just leveled up his army to maximum, and now we're seeing desperate Brown trying to warp in as much Zealot, Colossus, Archon, has a lot of energy for force fields, but there are 6 Vikings out right now. If those get sniped down, maybe Brown can hold on a little bit longer, but Brown's desperate to get to +2 armor. Brown's desperate to get a perfect engagement.
Yeah, he has to have the perfect engagement here. Anything less than perfect is going to be terrible, as right now he's pushing in from both sides. MarineKing Prime, catching those Colossus.
My God, that is an amazing tactical engagement, and there is a muling that I can actually get behind. Good game. MKP advances as 2nd place.
Wow. That was MKP, first engagement. He was looking all right. He threw down the mules. He knew he was in a good spot. He did a lot of damage to his opponent regardless. He was on 3 base behind that whilst all of that was going on. He felt comfortable. And there was only a miracle could have really brought Brown back from that situation.
Yeah. I mean, MarineKing Prime, I think, did an excellent job at the very end, but there were just so many of those like, oh my God, what's going on, MarineKing? You're about to kill yourself. And then he amazingly narrowly avoided it. And I think that MarineKing Prime still needs to really reel it in and stop doing these things like dropping mules on his opponent when MKP is still a long ways away from winning and still has a strong chance of losing. Like dropping the mule like right there. It's like, MKP, no, don't do it, man. But I think that a lot of people are going to be very excited by those results. MarineKing Prime so popular, and Scarlet, of course, really, really exciting to see another foreigner get first in a group.
Yeah, doing well for themselves. Brown, one of the qualifiers from the previous, from the actual Open qualifiers, unfortunately now out. But he fought so well against our Terran adversaries here during the group. So doing, I would say, a really, really good performance actually there from Brown.
And of course, an exceptional performance by you, Mr. Kalaris.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Take
It's 1
that.
a.m. here, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's always fun to cast with you, Sean, so it's good.
Yeah, and that will wrap us up here at Group C. Definitely go over to ironsquid.tv for all the updated schedule. Sunday's group is going to be MC Parting, Lucifron, and Lovesick, so tune in. Until then, I am Day9.
And I'm Kyle Laris, and that's going to wrap it up for Group C. We'll see you next time.